The Selfish Path to Romance. Download Chapter 1 for free at drkenner.com and at amazon.com.
Welcome, Kabur. Is that the way you pronounce it?
That's right.
Okay, got that right. And you say your son's a poor planner and he won't listen?
Yeah, my son is, 24 years old.
Oh, 24. I pictured a small kid. Okay.
And he is a master's. He is a master's in software engineering from a good college. And he works in a company, gets about $90K. But at the same time, what I notice is that he tends to be, he doesn't plan at all. And he tends to, because he doesn't do planning, he tends to do a lot of rework. He wastes a lot of time. He says that he works very hard in the office. He has got a very daunting job. So he must come back and now then just relax. He doesn't do anything, no reading at the moment for self-growth or even professional development. So he wastes his time, most of the time, on watching TV, watching sports, Red Sox games.
Okay. There are a lot of people, Kabur, who are listening to you right now and say, well, my husband watches TV and sports and Red Sox games. What's wrong with that?
Yeah, but it's too much of a time. just being spent on that. So he doesn't,
Yeah, and tell me, he lives with you? How do you know this? He's living with us. Oh, okay. So he's 24 years old. He's got a master's degree in software engineering, and he's got a good job. He's earning an income.
Yeah, very well.
What prevents him from moving out and relieving you? And mom is at home too?
Well, he was living alone for a couple of years. In fact, only very recently he has started living back with us. We wanted to live with him, and he wanted to live with us. That was mutual.
Oh, that was okay. Mutual. But here's the problem: when my son moves back home, or if my daughter were to move back home, if they were to move back home, I can see every choice that they make. I can see if my son sleeps too late. I can see if my daughter isn't studying or doing what I would want her to do. And how do you think my son and daughter feel about me watching their every choice?
After all, it is his choice also to be living together. So the question is that when you try to suggest something to him good, that he must read, whether it's professional development or self-development, then he tends to become aggressive. He doesn't want to listen at all.
How does he not listen? Tell me what he does, Kabur. If I say to you, let me be you, and if you're the son, and I say, it'd be so much better if you didn't watch the Red Sox or if you didn't watch TV and you just turned off the TV and really did something with your mind. If you did some reading, here are some books that I've gotten for you. These are good books that you could read, or you can pick your own. What does your son say back to you?
First of all, there's not too much of a communication. When I do tell him, he at that time, okay, I will do it, but he never does it.
So he just gives you lip service.
I would imagine, yes.
That's what he's giving you. And then it ends up being a mutual frustration society. He's frustrated with you, you're frustrated with him.
Yes, we haven't reached that totally a frustrated limit. But I think that is what we are heading for. If I keep on advising him, and he doesn't listen to me, then I think we will head for that frustration. But at the moment, we have not really hit the panic button.
Okay, so here's what I would recommend.
Hey, I got to interrupt this because we've got to pay some bills. 30 seconds, that's it. A very quick ad, and then Ellen will be back.
Romance. Oh, I wish guys knew more about what we want from a relationship. Boy, I wish I knew more about what I want. Where's that ad I saw? Here it is. The Selfish Path to Romance. A serious romance guidebook. Download Chapter 1 for free at selfishromance.com and buy it at amazon.com. The Selfish Path to Romance. That is interesting.
So here's what I would recommend. Do you remember being a teenager or a young adult?
Yeah.
Did you live with your parents?
Yes.
What was your relationship with dad or mom?
They were kind of okay in the sense that there was not too much of interference at all.
So they gave you some freedom.
Yes.
And what if they weren't that way? What if Dad was saying to you, hey, what are you doing now? You should be doing something else, or you could use your time better. If Dad's making the choices for your time, how would you feel?
I would feel that, unwanted advice.
Yes, that's exactly it. So here, as parents, it's so difficult because we would love our child to maximize their learning potential, to use their time well. We would feel that swell of pride inside. But what our kids want most at that, especially at that age, is to experience their own choice making, to make independent choices, even mistakes. Even poorer choices that they learn from. I know I used to be disorganized, and I'm much more organized now, and I still can work on my organization. So you can be a good role model. Just you're studying or you're doing it, but if you try to impose it on his mind, if you try to force his mind, kids resent that. They rebel. They either give lip service, okay, Dad, rolling the eyes, or they get real angry. Lay off of me. Don't bug me. I'll do my own thing. And it worsens the problem. You don't engage their cooperation. Instead, it makes them rebel, do exactly what you don't like. So I'm going to recommend a book. I know he's not a teenager anymore, but there is a good book, How to Talk So Kids Will... How to Talk So Teens Will Listen and Listen So Teens Will Talk.
Yeah.
And they give a lot. The authors, it's on my website. I always recommend this book. I love it. It's the authors are Adele Maslish and Faber, Faber, and my Faber, and it's on my website, drkenner.com, drkenner.com. And they would say, describe it. They have a whole chapter on engaging a teenager's cooperation, or in your case, a young adult's cooperation. You can tell him, honey, I see you come home, and I know you really want to relax some. How can I be of help to you? My guess is that you're frustrated when I tell you that you should be reading and you're wasting time and you're not planning, and you need you need to plan for develop yourself better. And listen to what your son says. Instead of saying yes, but listen to what guidance he gives you. Because my guess is if you leave him on his own, he's a bright kid. He has a master's in engineering, and I think he'll do quite well on his own. So listen, I wish you some success with that.
And here's a little more from Dr. Kenner.
You ain't going to school, are you, Annie? When I grow up. You ain't either, Annie. You're going to stay here. Take care of me. I'm going to school when I grow up. You said we'd be together forever and ever and ever. I'm going to school when I grow up. Now leave me be.
And isn't that the fight that many of us have within ourselves? You want to achieve something great in your life, or you want to pursue your own goals, and yet there's someone in your life who's telling you that you have to sacrifice, that you have to do for them, or that you should do for other people, or that it's anybody else but yourself. And you feel selfish doing the thing that you want to do, even though you're not stepping on anyone else. This is from the Miracle Worker. And going to school isn't stepping on anybody else, but that idea of the guilt that you would feel, and this is an unearned guilt, but the guilt that you would feel from pursuing your dreams. In my book, that guilt, that guilt prevents many people from pursuing their dreams. They give up on themselves, they self-betray. But in my book, you never give up those dreams. You pursue them, you don't step on anybody else, and you don't let other people step on you.
For more Dr. Kenner podcast, go to drkenner.com and please listen to this ad.
Here's an excerpt from The Selfish Path to Romance by Drs. Kenner and Locke.
Think of your love relationship as a garden full of rare and valuable flowers, the most important treasure in your life. Growing a garden isn't possible by just loving it. It has to be cultivated. If you start a garden and then neglect it, the plants will slowly wither and die. Cultivating a garden is an ongoing process requiring continuous thought and action. The same is true of love. If you truly value your partner, how do you show it? Here are 7 ways to help you both feel truly cherished. 1. Work to understand your partner. 2. Encourage your partner to pursue his or her values. 3. Communicate constantly. 4. Show concern for your partner's welfare. 5. Show generosity. 6. Make decisions together. And 7. Respect your partner's need for private time.
You can download Chapter 1 for free at drkenner.com, and you can buy the book at amazon.com.